look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife.
Yeah, man!
I mean the bare...
Hey folks, I'm here at the Terra Frutis Permaculture Food Forest in southeast Ecuador, and I'm standing next to an ice cream bean tree. In Spanish it's called a guava with a B, and it produces this fruit which grows in a bean pod, and in the inside it's a cotton candy like fruit. It's a great nitrogen fixing tree. It produces a lot of mulch, as you can see by these pods. It's a great pioneer tree. It's very hardy, it grows very fast. For that reason it's very weak wood, so it blows down easily in rainstorms. So I have a bunch of seeds here. And what's happening along this river right here is we're losing land to the river. Every time the river gets really big, little chunks of the land just fall off and go downstream. There's a lot of great plants we could plant alongside the river, for instance bamboo, to keep the soil in, but something that's readily available to us right now is ice cream bean seeds. They'll grow pretty quickly. We can use them as a chop and drop fertilizer, so they'll never get very big. And when we get bamboo and other stuff ready to plant here, we can just pull up the ice cream beans and throw in the bamboo. So let's throw some in the ground. Fortunately, this is a very hardy seed. It germinates very easily. So throw it to the ground, that's all. It'll be fine. This is how we mulch around most of our fruit trees. This is a mango tree right here. So we dug up some raised beds here right next to the kitchen building. As you can see, there's a lot of trees right around it, so there's a bit of shade here. We get direct sun during part of the day, a few different parts of the day. It hits it at a few different angles, but it's more or less it's pretty shady, which is great because we're right near the equator. And a lot of more tender plants like lettuce, they don't necessarily like having direct sun all day long. So we dug these up. There are no edges on the raised bed because that just takes too much materials and too much work. We just dug trenches and pulled out all the weeds. And so we're going to plant a lot of tender vegetables and spices over here. For example, we have two different varieties of mint. We have stevia right there. There's turmeric here and here. There's onions. There's some seeds planted in here that haven't come up yet. And then around the outside we're going to have sweet potatoes because the vines are a great ground cover. They're going to go forth and aggressively attack the jungle right there. Because otherwise the jungle within 2 weeks will just take over this entire garden bed. It'll be overgrown again. So it's important to have strong ground covers around the outside here and everywhere within it. So hopefully we'll have another video in a few months with how this looks when it's completely full of herbs and spices and other tender vegetables.
And there's a huge cucumber back there, I didn't even notice. Some cucumbers we got today from the garden. As you can see, we got some cucumbers crawling up the trellis. They're bumping out cucumbers left and right. They're only about a month and a half old.
So this plant you see right here is a Mexican sunflower. Very popular plant in permaculture. It's known as a weed in many areas of the world. Very prolific. The reason I care about it is because people say that it fixes phosphorus. It accumulates phosphorus, which is great because if you have plants that love phosphorus, phosphate, bananas, potatoes, you can use Mexican sunflower as a chop and drop fertilizer. The only problem is that over there we have a bunch of garden beds that are full of lettuce, kale, bok choy, herbs, and other things. When you have a lot of butterflies, they lay a lot of eggs, and of course what comes out of those eggs? Caterpillars. And the caterpillars just decided to start destroying a lot of our bok choy.
Look at the mustard, Peter.
Look what they did to that mustard. It's no good.
Nothing left.
So in permaculture, usually they say if you have a pest problem, you don't really have a pest problem.
You have a predator problem.
You just don't have enough of that predator that's supposed to be eating that pest. This, however, is a bit of an exception. Because in this case, we've planted an extraordinary number of huge bright orange flowers right next to our bok choy tender succulent greens. And unfortunately, the insect that is attracted by these flowers lays caterpillar eggs, and the caterpillars devour the greens. So we can just move the Mexican sunflowers. We can just plant them near bananas. We can plant them, 20 meters that way. We won't really have any problems. Right now, they're situated right next to the lettuce. Permaculture, just like Texas Hold'em, is a thinking man's game. So I just trimmed this Mexican sunflower quite a bit. I still left it alive because I want the flowers to keep producing seeds, so we got more. We don't have that many seeds left. So this is a great variety of red banana we found down the road. Plump, thick, short red bananas that are really delicious. So I threw the chop and drop fertilizer around it. Mexican sunflower will break down and fertilize that red banana tree.
Sometimes we like to pick the fruit we grow. Here's Peter picking some oranges.
We pick the best oranges here at Terra Frutis. We stand on a log and we find those oranges. They're on us, then they're on.
We got all this from just one tree, and we didn't even take nearly a quarter of the oranges off this tree. So, and there's like 25, 40 more trees in this property with the same amount of oranges.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife.
Yeah, man!
I mean the bare necessities, old Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life.